Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your Washington Commanders update. We're going to let everybody jump on into this live discussion. And before we get into all of that, let me introduce myself. I am your host, C. Wall, checking in as I do all the time to say, hey, here's all the latest and greatest information on the Washington Commanders. Are you all checking in? Have you all checked in? We're going to have a good time as we like to always do. It's always a good time, you all. Now, isn't it? So while we are waiting for everybody to jump on in the room, and we're clicking around here, reminder that this is a live Bowie television recording. Everything we say and do here will be on Bowie television. You can catch the Coaching from the Couch series each and every single day on Verizon Channel 11 and Comcast Xfinity Channel 77 from 1:30 to 2:30. Now let's see who has joined on in the virtual room to take part in the live discussion. There's a lot to be discussed. Always, as always, I try to keep everything going. We have a lot of content. As always, we want to share some training camp highlights, share some interviews, all of that good stuff. So we're really, really excited because we have a ton of content to show everybody. Have you all said hello to Mama Waller? Because she is on and ready to go. I see Patrick Harris has joined in as well. I see Cameron Mingo has jumped in. And Cameron Mingo had a great question, so I can't wait until we get to that. Everybody ready to go? Because I'm telling you, there's a lot to be discussed. And we're going to go ahead and get into the training camp highlights. Are you all ready? Love button, fire emoji in the chat so that we know that you all are ready to go. I'm going to jump right in because I'm trying to figure out what time it is. And we're all trying to figure this out. And I'm like, I don't know what time it is. I guess it's just go time. So we'll figure it out as we go along. I see the First String podcast has hopped on, as well as Lawrence Bullard. So listen, y'all, enough of me. Let's get into these training camp highlights because that's probably going to take up a good bulk of the time. And then I definitely want you all to get into these one-on-one chats that I had with a few of your favorite Commanders players. Then we'll get into some of the questions that you all had for me, because there's always questions for me. And then we'll just talk. It's a preseason game on Friday, y'all. So let's jump right into it. But go ahead and show you all the highlights. Check it out.
Sorry, just going back to the injuries so quick. You guys have been relatively healthy. Is it just something that comes with pads coming on? You have to kind of manage it.
Yes, management is a big part of it. That's why a lot of these things we didn't push anybody through out there. We just say, hey, let's just start backing up, especially today. This being the day before a day off, it gives them a little bit more time, consecutive time, to get better in terms of, now all of a sudden, they start to feel something. You go out and they make them practice. Well, they haven't, they only got one day to hopefully get back and be ready. Well, feel something, let's shut them down, let's just start getting them treated. That gives us a whole 2 days or a day and a half. Hopefully get them better, get them back out on the field.
Understanding the defense is ahead and they've been in the same system, is there a timeline when you start to want to see more of the offense, or the offense kind of getting theirs on the practice field?
Yeah, when you start game planning, when you start preparing, I think that's what's more important. I mean, right now there's no game planning out there. You know what I'm saying? There's just learning your base fundamentals, learning the foundation of what you're going to do, and then you got to go out there and use your tools and react to it. Now you start the game plan and start saying, hey, this is what we anticipate, this is what we expect to get, these are the things that we can do, this is your toolbox of adjustments, and let's go out and make it happen. That's when you want to start to see things really come together. Right now, if they have a good day, then you know that really things are being put together. Yesterday I thought was a good day for the offense as well. There are a lot of good things that did happen. But there really is no timeline except for when the season starts, when it's for real.
I know sweat, chasing pain, they're going to go out there and do what they got to do. The guys in the back are going to do what they're doing. And we're really eliminating the stupid mistakes, the lack of communication, the hustles. We're playing really well off each other right now, so we got to keep that up. We can't get too excited. We understand that it's only week 2 of training camp. There's a lot of room for improvement and a lot of things we got to clean up, but every day we're taking a step in the right direction. We're not having really any day that we take a step back.
Do you see the defense being able to use the single package more this year?
It really just depends. I mean, the teams come out 5 wide, it's going to be hard to be in the single package. But as a defensive lineman, I think the hardest thing is not focusing on what packages you're in, but whenever you're in the game, whatever the situation is, making the best out of that situation. You know what I mean? So I try not to focus on that because it's really out of my control. It's up to Coach Del Rio and the scheme that Coach put together, and it's my job to go out there and execute it regardless of the situation. And as a defensive line, we always say, put the pressure on us. We want us, the D-line, to have a harder job on the field. So that means we're out there and we have low numbers, and we still got to stop throwing with a light block. So good.
You talked about the familiarity with some of the edge guys and being able to rush off them and same with Duran inside. Are there other things that being in year 4 of this scheme that you just feel like, we're further ahead on this or that? Are there specific things that stand out to you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't spend a lot of time with a lot of the basics. What I mean that is, we know the plays, we know what we're supposed to do. Now we can really pay attention on how we have to do it, as opposed to going to the first year, we're all learning something new, so we can spend more time focusing on what to do first. I feel like we have a good understanding of what we're trying to do, and now we can really fine tune on how we're going to accomplish that.
They're going to make plays, touch the ball. Coach Rivera's been preaching just doing the little things right, and that's something that we've just been focusing on each and every play, just doing the little details right, getting your keys right, fundamentals right. So it's been fun, man. Everybody been going out there making plays and just going out there competing.
Feels like you guys have had longer stretches where you work on kind of one thing. How advantageous is that?
Say that again?
I feel Ron was saying the other day about how you guys now are practicing for longer periods on just kind of one thing, or focusing on one specific area for longer. How advantageous is that?
It's been good. We've been honestly just working on, just little things, working on red zone defense, working on third down defense. So you're just doing different things that you need to for Sunday in terms of techniques that you may use specifically in the red zone, techniques that you may use on 3rd and short versus 3rd and 10. So just being able to kind of work on situational football to help you get prepared for Sunday.
What have you seen from Emmanuel Forbes just in terms of his growth?
Say it again?
Emmanuel Forbes, just his growth from the spring. What have you seen from him?
I think he's just trying to play faster. When you first get in there, trying to learn the defense and things like that, sometimes you allow your mental process to slow you down. And he's been coming out here, mentally starting to pick it up faster. So you see him reacting faster to certain plays and certain routes and things like that. So he's definitely improving each and every day.
secondaries changed quite a bit every year since you've been here, but the group right now, how do you feel about the depth? I mean, you got a lot of younger players, depth, but just what is your overall impression of the group and the potential there?
I love it, man. We got a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things well. A lot of guys that can make plays all over the football field. A lot of guys that can play different positions. So honestly, for us, we're just having fun. We got a lot of talent, but at the end of the day, we got to go out there and produce on the field on Sundays, and that's what we've been working on since OTAs. You work on now, put your head down and just grind. So we definitely have a lot of potential, but at the end of the day, it's all about what you go out and do on Sundays. That's good.
Had to check out some of the sight sounds. You all can tell during the pressers, there's a lot of conversation going on in the background. That is because the fans have been showing up. So tap in if you are one of those fans that has been attending training camp. I know Mazdak was there. Others have been there as well. So shout out to everybody withstanding the heat to come out and watch Washington Commanders practice. Drop in the chat if any of the responses from Coach Ron Rivera, from defensive tackle Jonathan Allen and Kendall Fuller resonated with you. Is there anything that they said that stood out to you that you have questions about? Anything, you name it. I'm here to answer all of the questions that you have and then some. I had already mentioned to you all that definitely has some one-on-one chats that I want to share with you guys as well. Love button, fire emoji if you are ready to get into some of these one-on-one chats that I've had over the last week or so. Definitely want to hear from you all. We're going to get to the questions that were submitted to me before the show as well. But we have a lot of content. So I want to make sure you all get into all of this good content, okay? So while you all are dropping those questions, let's get into some of the chats that I've had. First up, conversation that I've had with new offensive lineman or new to the Washington Commanders, Andrew Wylie. So I am standing here after, what is it now, day 6 of training camp, first day of pads. Do you even know, Andrew?
Yeah, I don't know. Just coming out here to practice. It's the start of a new week, though, and it was fun being out here in the pads, though.
Yep, so I'm standing here with Andrew Wylie, offensive lineman for the Washington Commanders. And so, Andrew, I know you've probably gotten all the warm welcome of the welcome to the DMV, which is not where you get your driver's license, DC, Maryland, Virginia.
I did learn that.
So how have you been getting acclimated to the area so far?
Good, yeah. Mainly just getting out to the local restaurants, having some good food, getting out to eat. But yeah, it's been great so far. It's been a great welcome.
So in terms of, I know you've worked with Coach Eric Bieniemy before, and now you're here in Washington working with him again. Can you share a bit about Coach Bieniemy's personality, how he is as a coach, and just how he's been working with you all so far this camp?
He's a very intense guy, and he's very detail oriented. I would say those are two things that he comes to work with every single day, and he truly demands greatness. I practice every single day. If something's not to his satisfaction, he's gonna bring us back to the huddle and make sure we get the details right. So he's very detail oriented and very intentional with his play calls.
So as a Super Bowl champion, I have to ask, so really it would start now, right? Like the practice and the details and the plays and all of that, but can you share a bit more about what all goes into just preparation all year long, from just your training, nutrition, all of the things, and preparing for a Super Bowl game day?
Yeah, you hit it on the head. I mean, it starts here in training camp, and honestly it started in OTAs, back when we reported in April. Just building the team chemistry, finding out who's going to be out there, and just building on those little details that are going to get you, those 17, 18 games, and then get that playoff run. But it starts in OTAs, it starts here in camp, putting the pads on, just laying the groundwork early. So
I know you told the media the other day that you had not watched Quarterback all the way through.
I haven't seen
but
that.
Spoiler alert, I hope it's okay. My bad if not.
You're good.
But a little birdie said on the show, and they talked a bit about a play call that was created for you. Can you tell a little bit about that play call and which show you like a lot that was named after?
Yeah, so I collect Pokemon cards, and I'm a big card collector, so it was named little Pikachu, and it was a great play that worked so many times in practice. We were absolutely dialed in on it, and I think the refs gave the defense a little help on that, telling them I was the guy that was eligible, but that's in the past now. But a little play call design, I got hands, some say I got the best hands on the O-line. It was a little catch and release play, but didn't end up happening. So hopefully by the time the whole career is wrapped up, I get another chance at that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andrew.
I appreciate it, guys.
So listen, that was a fun conversation, and that was still the first day of pads. So now as the week has gone on, the pads have been on for a bit. They've been on for a bit. And I know by now everyone has heard how testy practice has been, right? It has been. So we're going to move forward. Got a preseason game this week. Again, drop those questions in the chat. Let me know what you want to ask, let me know what you want to know, because I've been out there every day so far. But while you are dropping all of those questions into the chat, let's move on to another one-on-one conversation, shall we? Check this one out with Antonio Gibson. So I'm standing here with Antonio Gibson after, what is it now, AG? Is it day 9? Are you counting the days? Nobody knows. Okay. All right. So how you feeling?
I'm good. Body a little sore, but that comes with it. Putting in the work and, just coming out here day by day trying to get better.
So in a week, it will be preseason game 1.
Yep.
So what are you all working on and doing to prepare for that game?
We haven't done much, honestly, but, of course, we're out here getting better, with our kind of critique what we need to get fixed, but I think next week is kind of when we start flowing and start worrying about, that preseason game. So we'll see how next week goes for us.
And for you individually, what are some of the things that you are looking forward to and how you've been perfecting your game? We've already been commenting on the running back group as a whole, but for you individually, what are you focused on?
Just to be out there and be confident, knowing the situation, being aware, down and distance, time of the game, what we really need, during those certain plays, and just being locked in, a full game. So my big thing is mentally. So that's something I've been focused on.
After OTAs, I had a conversation with Coach Randy Jordan about the identity of the running back group, and he had a lot of positive things to say, of course. But what is your take on you all's identity and how you all want to be known across the league as a position group?
I love our group. I feel like everybody in that room, they always try to separate us with, B-Rob being the power back, me being the wide out, but I feel like we can all do it. You know what I'm saying? I can catch out of the backfield. I can run hard. B-Rob can run hard, and he's been showing he can catch the ball as well. And then we also got other guys who can do the same exact thing. So, I want to be known as those guys who do it all. It don't matter what down, what situation, we can all do it, and we can all step up to the plate and get it done.
And now, are you kind of like a veteran, so to speak, on the team and in the league? Yes, you can definitely say that you're a veteran.
I'm comfortable. If guys need help, I can kind of guide those guys, with not knowing certain stuff coming into the league, it's not the end of it. Just don't come out here tomorrow and mess up on the same thing. That's some things, coach don't want to see. Like, if he corrects you once, don't mess up on it again. Just relaxing those guys, tell them to stay cool. It's not the end of the world. But so definitely, I'm feeling comfortable. I'm leading. I'm doing a better job at that.
I appreciate you taking the time, AG. All right, thank you. All righty. So you all can hear probably in AG's voice. It was, what day is it? Who knows? Because at this point, nobody really does know. And his next player I had a one-on-one chat with, he didn't know either. Check it out. I am standing here with safety, veteran. You're a veteran now, right? Let me stop. Year 4. Kamren Curl. Cam, you all had an off day yesterday. Much needed?
Nah, yeah, really much needed. Get us, get our legs back going, get feeling good again.
Okay, you do anything fun? You just chill?
Nah, I was just chilling.
Oh, okay, cool. So, I remember when we talked to you last summer in training camp, and you were talking about you wanted to be the best, wanted to be the best safety in the league, Pro Bowl, all of that. You had an injury, so it didn't quite pan pan out that way, what are you still same target for this year?
Oh yeah,
Best
for
of
sure.
the best?
I'm trying to, Pro Bowl, all pro status, just solidify myself as one of the top safeties in the game.
So I saw you over here doing this exercise. What is this game? What is it
I
called?
mean, just like, tennis ball, catches on the judge, just hand-eye coordination.
Oh, okay.
So we can catch them picks, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, you were catching it with one hand, though.
Yeah.
So that's what you...
I mean, it's just hand-eye coordination.
So as a veteran on the team, added a few rookies to the defensive back position. What is your role as a veteran? How are you being a voice and a leader with the position group in the locker room as a whole?
Just making sure everybody caught up, you know what I'm saying? The young guys, they got questions, they come to me, I get them straight, you know what I'm saying? If I see them doing something like on the field that I can correct, I just go up to them and correct it. Just trying to be that guy they can look up to help them out.
And just coming up, preseason game 1, some people may say, well, it's just preseason. But what are you looking to work on for that game if you all decide, if they decide to play at all, or how much? What would you be working on in that game, the rest of preseason, and the rest of training camp?
Just getting back to hitting people, tackling right, you know what I'm saying, get ready for the regular season, and then just getting game speed reps, you know what I'm saying. Practice cool, but like game speed, that's, a whole different thing. So just getting our feet wet with that, just trying to, get back right.
All right, Cam, I appreciate you taking the time. This is Candy Waller reporting from Bowie TV. All righty, you all. So it's question time. Did everybody have an opportunity to drop the questions in the chat? Because I'm getting ready to jump straight to the questions. I got some beforehand, and I feel like I saw Melvin Russ McCray ask a question and come through. So with the remaining time, we've already gone through some of the highlights from a couple of the days. Let you all do the listening on my one-on-one chat with Andrew Wylie, with Antonio Gibson, and then with Kamren Curl. Hope you all enjoyed that content. Now up for question 1 from Cameron Mingo. Cameron, check in if you are still watching. Should the Commanders rest both Emmanuel Forbes and Logan Thomas until the regular season starts, since they're dealing with minor injuries? My answer is yes. Now, I would like to see Emmanuel Forbes get a bit more burn. I would, but not at the risk of any injuries. He has been participating in practice. One of the reasons why I was mentioning Emmanuel Forbes specifically is because when it comes to the preseason games with the Baltimore Ravens, everybody's talking about a rookie up the beltway by the name of Zay Flowers. That's a wide receiver. And I know that was going to be one of the matchups that I was going to be paying close attention to when it came to Forbes. Let's see how this works. So, hey, but not at the risk of an injury. Am I good with them sitting them? Absolutely. But when it came down to specifically the Baltimore Ravens joint practices, I really wanted to see him match up against a different team. I've seen him. He's done great against Terry McLaurin, Logan Thomas, Jahan Dotson, but still just that overall competitiveness when you're finally matching up against a teammate or a team that's not yours. Let's have at it. And I know that's what I was looking for, but again, not at the risk of an injury. Logan, but he's still been at practice. Logan Thomas has not been at practice. So sometimes the players may come out and stretch for a bit. Logan Thomas has not been out there. He is progressing. Coach Rivera said earlier today a little bit slower. So may not see Logan Thomas, which is disappointing again, because Logan was having an incredible training camp. I've talked to you all for a while since Coach Bieniemy has been with the Commanders that this tight end group, where underutilized previously, will not be underutilized going forward. So definitely was hoping to see a bit more from him, even if it was just in one preseason game. But hey, it's truly better to be safe than sorry. I think Coach Rivera, while I'm just giving my opinion here, made a comment about not letting things linger and just trying to deal with it head on, so that players don't have these issues later on. So he keeps saying operating in an abundance of caution. So that is what they are doing there. Next up question, who on the offensive line stands out the most right now? This is from Daryl Kinsey Jr. So my answer to this question might just startle you a bit, and I'm just being honest, right? When you say stand out, I'm not giving this in a complimentary way per se. I am paying very close attention to the left guard position. You all heard me speaking highly and talking a lot about Sadiq Charles, and I thought Sadiq Charles had a very strong OTAs. Have not seen that progress that I would like to see from him. And then the challenge with that is he too is dealing with an injury as well. So this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. And then his backup, Chris Paul, still a lot to be desired there as well. It's hard going up against this defense. I could only imagine. I'm not out there. They are. And while it's good practice, is it really? So there's a lot to be seen there. And while I know probably standing out means in terms of being impressive. I mean, if I got to go back to being impressive, I'm kind of like Andrew Wylie. He knows, and he's used to coach Bieniemy. It's still tough dealing with that defense. I'll mention Sam Cosmi as well. Sam he's having a solid camp. He really is. Sam Cosmi is having a solid camp. Nick Gates, I'm still a little, some days he's on, some days it's a little shaky, but I'm really, really paying very close attention to that left guard position for sure, because that one is the one that's giving me a bit of angst there. So hope that answers your question, Daryl. Question 3, who do you think will return kickoffs and punts? Love button, fire emoji if you have read the first unofficial depth chart. Also, love button, fire emoji if you all have checked out on the Bowie TV YouTube the conversation I had with Coach Nate Kazor, Randy Jordan, Juan Castillo. Coach Kazor made it very clear what they're looking for is someone who can catch the football and have control of the football. So that explains why Dax, Milne is back there frequently. And he is still back there frequently. But here's the thing though. While it's about catching the football, you still got to get the best of your best. So keep in mind, Kaz Allen has been back there. Yes, we've seen Kyrick McGowan. But in terms of like Antonio Gibson, we've seen Jahan Dotson. So I would put my money on when it comes down to the get down for real. When the team offensively wants to make a move, they're gonna put AG back there, and do not be surprised if you see Jahan Dotson back there as well. If they think they can make a move in a special teams way, especially if the offense is struggling, they're going to put out their best option to get down the field. We're not going to see this safe play. However, we're definitely seeing all of those players get traction during training camp at that position. So for me, in a perfect world, I'm going to put AG and Jahan back there every time. I'm putting my track stars back there every single time. But if it's about fair catches, if it's about, whatever it may be about, if you really are concerned about the opposing team's special teams and you don't think your guys could beat them, or you're trying to save them up, don't be surprised if you see Dax back there. But if I'm picking, I'm putting AG and Jahan back there. Now, to Melvin Russ McCrae's question, besides Mason Brooks, who else was a surprise to make the team? See, here's the thing. The answer is surprise. The question, the problem with it is surprise. That's the word surprise is what trips me up every time, because Mason Brooks is clearly the dark horse right now. He's clearly by far the surprise for sure. Phenomenal job on offensive line. Definitely like who is that again? And everybody has to look it up. Making a grand entrance, doing great things during training camp. But I'll go back to undrafted free agent Kaz Allen. I will go back to Kaz. They need someone else that can have control of the football and as well as be explosive. And I think Kaz can be that guy. He was an undrafted free agent. I'm sure there's a couple others, but you stole mine already, Russ, which was Mason Brooks. And then I'll give nod to Kaz Allen. I'm trying to think because it's been so much going on. Here's why it's been challenging. And I'm going to say this. Here's why it's been challenging. It's been challenging to answer that question in terms of surprise because we're finally seeing players being used where they are most effective. And we have not seen that previously. So surprised? No, maybe, Kaz, like I said, as in that kick return, punt return role, because he's definitely been getting a lot more burn there as well. That will be my answer, but you kind of stole my answer, which was Mason Brooks, because right now he's everybody's surprise for sure. You all, we have made it through another episode of the Washington Commanders Update, Coaching from the Couch series. I hope you all have enjoyed this content. Love button, fire emoji. Make sure you share this show with your Commanders loving family and friends. We're having a good time. It's a lot of content. It's a lot of fun. It's hot. The weather has been pretty mild, so that's a good thing. But guess what, y'all? Guess what? What y'all think I'm about to say? You may not know. But let me just say it. I'm ready for some football. I really am. Like John Bates said in his press conference yesterday, it's time for them to hit somebody else other than each other. Facts on top of facts. So, you all, thank you so much for tuning in and participating in the conversation. I hope this was helpful. We'll tune back in for the live discussion on Thursday. As always, we'll dig a little bit more into Commanders updates and getting ready for preseason game 1. Until then, I'll talk to you all again soon.